If it's like everything else, it's going to be fantastic.
Hello and welcome to the Mike Less Farmhand Mike YouTube channel, bringing you some of the biggest and best variety and definitely the most versatile farming content on social media today. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Farmhand Mike.
When you're running combine and have that view over there, that's just pretty awesome. That's almost as awesome as watching that Mike Less guy on YouTube.
That is one good-looking tractor and grain cart.
Harvest 2021 has come and gone, and here's how it all went.
Overall, we had a really good fall harvest here in Darke County, Ohio. The weather was really good. The yields were really good. No breakdowns to speak of. I don't even think anybody really spilled any grain, like running a truck over, grain cart over, combine, that kind of stuff. You might see a little bit of grain on the roof of the combine here and there, but I think that's just kind of normal. We got started with the corn and soybean harvest here around mid-September, had everything wrapped up in early November, also got quite a bit of fall tillage done, ran the versatile Fury high-speed disc over quite a few acres, disc ripped some, and we all took turns. I had a camera with me pretty much every day, so I do have footage, from the tractor and grain cart, the combine, the other combine. We all take turns mixing things up, doing different things so nobody gets bored just doing the same thing, but anyways, it's going to be a rather long video just because I did do an early fall harvest video in a live stream. I'll put the links to that at the end of this video, but this is pretty much 6 weeks worth of video wrapped up in probably 45 minutes or so. The big bin is clear full of soybeans, so we got a couple smaller bins, so we'll move the tractor and grain auger over there, get that set up before dark, and hopefully get moved to another field, get it opened up and everything before the sun sets. It would be nearly impossible to take a 45-foot grain head down the road on the combine here. Got to move to another field about 5 miles away, so here we go. The soybeans got pretty tough the night before. We had to call it quits. So here we are on Saturday morning getting a good start. They're calling for rain in the afternoon, so we're going to try to get done what we can get done. The farm that I help out on here ran an S670 for many years with a 40-foot head. This year they upgraded to this S780 and a 45-foot flex draper head. It's a rather impressive machine, I must say. know some people say running the tractor and grain cart during soybean harvest can be kind of boring because you're waiting on the combine more often than when you're doing corn, but it does give you opportunity to do things like fly your drone, you know, social media stuff, make Instagram stories, TikToks, that kind of thing. Got a little rain delay now, so go find something else to do. We had a couple pop-up showers. It was enough that we had to quit doing soybeans in that field, and since that was one of the last fields, we didn't switch back to corn, but just a few miles away. It wasn't that wet, so got the Versatile Fury high-speed disc out, working down some harvested soybean ground, running about 3 inches deep here, around 11 miles an hour, just doing a pretty nice job. So this worked out pretty good last year. We ran across a lot of the soybean stubble here at 3 inches deep and let this set all winter and planted corn right into it in the spring. It worked out really well. As I said, in the soybean stubble, we're running about 3 inches deep. When we get into the corn stalks, I set it at about 4 inches deep. It just does a little better job in the corn stalks, run a little deeper at 3 inches, especially if the field has not weathered much since it's been harvested. You don't knock all the root balls out and stuff like that. It still does a pretty good job, but just does a little better at 4 inches deep in the corn ground. This machine's designed to run around 2 to 5 inches deep. 5 inches don't really see that much more advantage other than it takes more horsepower. This is a John Deere 9410R tractor with the synchro transmission in it. It is turned up a little bit, so about 11 miles an hour is all it wants. When I had the Versatile 460 on this disc last year, could pretty well pull it at any speed we wanted. This disc is designed to run the speeds up to 12 miles per hour. And now let's get on with some corn harvest. Corn harvest went really good this season. We had no corn that got blew over by wind, anything like that, so that's always good. And we really didn't get a lot of rain here where we was out of the field or had to track up any fields too bad, so that's always a plus. The John Deere dealer out of Coldwater, Ohio brought out this new 8R340 tractor for us to try out. I think they'd like to sell it to the farm as a planting tractor, but this thing was fully loaded as far as I know with the signature cab, the iOS front suspension, had the IVT transmission, had about 100 hours on it when we got it. We ran it off and on for about 2 days, but very, very nice tractor. And then J&M brought out this new grain cart. This is the new RX 1112 grain cart that has the unloading auger on the right hand side. J&M now offers grain carts with the unloading auger on the left hand or the right hand side. So this is an option. This is the same grain cart that was at the Farm Progress Show in Decatur, Illinois, and at the Ohio Farm Science Review. Now, the farm that I help out on just bought that new black grain cart a couple years ago, so it wasn't really not in the market for another one. But J&M come out, did some photos for themselves, and of course we'd use this in one of my live streams and so forth. But I do really like the concept of having the auger over on this side. I mean, all your tractor controls, everything's on the right-hand side. You pull up to the truck, and you're not looking back the wrong way while you're touching your control. So it really is a nice option to have. It took a little getting used to in the beginning. When you're used to running a grain cart with the auger on the left side, I did pull up to the truck the first day the wrong way a couple times, but it didn't take long to figure that out. You just have to remember to fold your auger back every time when you're coming up on the combine so you guys don't smack augers. Technically, you're supposed to fold your auger in every time. You're not supposed to run across the field with the auger out, but plenty of guys do. They're built to take it. But anyways, just set the timer on your remotes, and when you leave the truck, fold it back in. You have nothing to worry about. And J&M grain carts are built close by in Fort Recovery, Ohio. Of course, this one here is the Patriotic Farmer Edition. Has the flag stripe decals on the side. Very good looking grain cart. I've also seen some J&M grain carts leaving the factory headed down the highway on a semi-trailer with the Canadian flag stripe on it, so that's good for the Canadian farmers. And what's everybody think of the color black? I'm seeing a lot of black J&M grain carts, so I think this color is doing very well for them as well. Of course, they offer all kinds of different colors, but hey, now I can finally say it. Look at that tractor. That is one good-looking tractor and grain cart. So we got this new Versatile 315 tractor from WMS Ohio, the Versatile dealer in Upper Sandusky, Ohio. And yeah, I'll say it again. That is one good-looking tractor and grain cart. All right, so we did some corn for a while. It got fit. We needed to get the soybeans finished up, so we're going to jump back here and do some soybean harvest, just try to get that wrapped up. Just had a couple more days left here, so did get to run this grain cart in corn and soybeans. After we got done with this cart, there was another farm in the area that wanted to try it out, and they ended up buying it. The other thing I like about these grain carts is the J&M iFarm app. So the cart itself has scales on it, and with the iFarm app, I have a tablet inside the tractor. You can put it on a tablet or your smartphone, whatever, and keep track of all your loads, weights, fields, whatnot. A lot of good information there, but I just like it for the scales mostly, so it gives you a good idea what you got on the cart. Because from the tractor, you can't see if the cart's full or not. And if the guy in the combines, talking on his phone and can't yell on the radio, you're full, you can look at the scales, and usually you got, 65 to 70,000 pounds in the cart. You know it's full.
I'm here with Dusty from Ohio AgNet, and today I got picked to do their cab cam. So Dusty's going to be with me in the combine here in the tractor, and we're going to show you some harvest here, and they'll have a clip of it over on your Facebook page. Absolutely. Is where we will find that. So maybe if they have that out before I get this video done, I'll put the link below or at the end of this video. So stay tuned for that. Thanks.
Thank you.
He was just riding in the combine with me, so that's pretty exciting. We're gonna finish up this field of corn here, hopefully switch over to soybeans, and sun's out, sorta, wind, but compared to where we were yesterday getting moved up here, the ground's a little wetter. Where we have to finish soybeans, I think it's a little wetter yet, so we're gonna have to run up there and check that. But overall, this corn is doing phenomenal. This corn here is a little wetter than yesterday. We were down in that 17% yesterday. This field's about 21, 22. This field was actually planted before, but it's a different variety, but it's yielding very good. The yield monitor is up over 300 lot through this field, so that's pretty exciting. But yeah.
Soybeans are a go, so off to the next field.
Another field done. We finished up the one field of soybeans last night, and it was going to get close to dark, so we didn't move. There was a chance of rain last night. We did get about 1/10 of an inch of rain, so it's cloudy this morning, so we're going to run corn for a bit here, starting a new field, and see how it goes. Maybe switch to soybeans later today.
got moved up to the very last field of soybeans for the 2021 season. They're just a little bit on the tough side, so we're going to let them get a little more sun and wind. I'm going to go back and jump in the tractor, work some ground with the Versatile Fury. We're going to just open a spot up here so we can pull the tractor, grain cart, and the semis in. So we'll be back to this field in a little bit. I packed my lunch for today, but the seed consultant fella dropped off some Made Right sandwiches. So if you don't know much about Made Right sandwiches, I think it's what put Greenville, Ohio on the map. People wait in line to get these things, so let's check this out. They're really good. It's ground beef, and I don't know what they have. It's got a flavor like no other. As far as I know, this is the only one in Ohio, and I think you have to go clear to Iowa to find another Made Right. But really good sandwich made locally, so if you ever come to Greenville, Ohio, definitely check out Made Right. Well, that sandwich had cheese on it, so technically that's a cheese right. But they also have egg salad sandwiches there. Now, I don't go to restaurants to get an egg salad sandwich, but they have really good egg salad sandwiches too. So definitely, like I said, check it out. Made Right, Greenville, Ohio. The farm we're on now has 5 different fields. A couple of them are some smaller fields. This one right here, we got to go under a power line here across the driveway, so we got to fold the extensions down on the combine and stuff to get under here. But there's really nowhere to come down the road, get into this field and put the head on, so this is the way to do it. But anyways, got all the small fields done. We're going to move to the big field in the back. It's kind of an odd shaped field, but hopefully get all this done before it rains tonight. Finished this field of soybeans just in time. It's just starting to sprinkle. I don't think it's going to amount to much, but we're done, and I think we're done with soybeans. Still have a few fields, but the other guys are running the other combine in those, so we should be done with them. So we're going to go to corn. We got a lot of corn to do, and I'm going to move the header and stuff here across the creek, and Hank will be back with another semi. I'll get the grain cart unloaded. We should get everything moved back to start on the corn tomorrow. Like I said, I don't think it's going to rain. It looks like it dissipated. Here's a look at the sky to the west. And that is to the east. I think we're good. It's Wednesday night. Next chance of rain is Friday. We'll see what happens. They weren't even calling for this until just 2 hours ago. So I'll get the truck back and do something else.
one button.
And that's about going to do it for another day. We're back to corn for good now. Some of the other YouTubers would be like, whoa, there's the clickbait and drama I needed for a video. 2021 corn harvest rolled on just as good as one would want it to, and I would just pop the drone up, get the GoPro out every now and then just to get different pictures, videos from different fields with different backgrounds. This is the very last field of corn we have down in the Arcanum, New Madison, Ohio area. Then we'll be moving everything back up west of Greenville. We'll be running with the other combine at this farm run, so who knows? Later on in the video, you might see me driving a red combine. And that can mess a guy up a little bit because the controls are different between the red and the green combine for raising and lowering the head. Another thing I did a couple times running this S780 combine is when I would go to fold the auger in, my thumb would come down and hit the switch and kick the unload auger back on again. I don't know if anyone else has ever done that, but I probably did it about 6 times this year. Luckily, I caught it every time and didn't spill very much corn. And if you didn't notice, we did do a lot of switching between tractors and grain carts this season, more than I ever remember doing before. And that's the end of this field. So now we got to move everything about 15 miles, whatnot, and got this done just in time because we got a pretty big rain after this, and we was out of the field for several days. I told you might see me driving a red combine later on in the video. So we are just working a couple fields apart now, both combines. And this is the end of harvest right here. So we're just getting down. We're under 50 acres, I think, at this point. So going really good. You can see it's a little bit muddy. There's some mud sticking to the tires. But it's, you know, early November, time to get done. Now that was close. It's lunchtime. We threw a turkey breast on the Traeger this morning about 6:30, so this should be pretty good. This is actually the first turkey breast we've had on our Traeger. We've done a lot of other things, so if it's like everything else, it's going to be fantastic. What's that? Mom's worried there's not going to be enough food. Oh no. Hey, nice sweatshirt.
Thank you.
What do we got here? Hash brown casserole, smoked turkey, and coleslaw. Thank you, Mrs. Les. Thank you, Miss Les. And Brandon, if you helped. Should be popping out now. And that's going to do it for Harvest 2021. That is your last 8 rows of corn here in Darke County, Ohio. I'm sure this won't be my last harvest video though, you know, because there's still a lot of corn area. I'm sure I got other people I can video, so stay tuned. Out of here. And that's a wrap for corn and soybean harvest here in Darke County, Ohio. We still got a little bit of harvest left to go. We still got the Ohio cotton and the Ohio milo crop to go. So let's have a look here. So I have to get the cotton picker out now, but the cotton's coming along, as you can see here, starting to open up. So yep, and then we got the milo right behind there. So I have to get the
draper head back on the combine and get that harvested. And you know, the barley's coming on pretty good too. It's a pretty good looking crop of barley.
And now that harvest is over, it's time to get everything cleaned up and try to get as much fall tillage done as we can. We want to try to run the versatile high-speed disc over every acre that we can this fall. We had a pretty good run of some dry weather for several days, was able to cover a lot of acres with it, and then it rained, couldn't go for a couple days, then it froze. We were actually coming out really early in the morning running on some frozen ground. That worked out really good. Then about 10, 11 o'clock, it would get above freezing, and then it'd get a little greasy on top, and then we would stop. Come back the next day, do it again. Like I said, we did cover a lot of acres with this, so that's good. The plan is in a lot of these fields here with the soybean stubble is let this set all winter and just come right in the spring and plant corn right into this. I really like coming out and working ground real early in the morning, coming out about 4 a.m. when it's dark. Bring a thermos of coffee, you got the radio, no one's going to bother you on the phone. It's just a pretty peaceful time in my opinion. And again, in the soybean stubble here, running this about 3 inches deep at about 11 miles an hour.
We got all these dead ash trees from that emerald ash borer, and the trees have been dead for a couple years, and then they just keep falling over in the field, so we just got to keep after them. And I think they're all dead now, so you can see there's several more here, and we'll just wait till they fall and we'll push them back too.
We did not get a lot of disc ripping done this fall. We had some compacted end rows wanted to hit, and I know this tractor might be a little big for this 5-shank ripper, but it's what was available and was running fairly deep. It was compacted, so it pulled it no problem and did the job we wanted it to do. Running primary tillage such as a disc ripper, chisel plow, stuff like that is one of my favorite things to do in the fall. However, we just don't have a big window of opportunity after harvest to do a lot of it, so just going to get the main stuff that we want to get, and we're going to have to call it good. We do occasionally get some opportunities throughout the winter where we'll have a little bit of a dry spell or it'll freeze just right at night where you can come out here early in the morning and do some more, but usually once we get into December, them chances are few and far between. And you can see it's just a little bit sticky here. Of course, this is a wetter field, but it was okay to disc rip it, I guess. But look at that shank there. It broke the trip bolt. And, of course, looking at the drone footage here, I see that now. So when I got to the end of the field, I didn't have the bolts or the wrenches with me, so I ran back to the barn. And since it was muddy, quit. We had some snow, so we had a little bit of a snow delay, so we come back when the ground was froze here. Got Hank to run the tractor a few rounds so I could fly the drone and get some better footage. Running equipment, flying a drone at the same time is a lot easier if you have auto guidance, but still, it's just a lot better if you just got somebody else in the tractor doing it, and I can stay at the end of the field, fly the drone. Everything just goes so much easier and a lot less worry. That's going to do it for this video, and that is going to do it for the Harvest 2021 season here in Darke County, Ohio. We had a great run. As I said earlier in the video, everything just went pretty darn good this fall, so you got to be thankful for that. No down corn, good crops, good weather, all that good stuff. Anyways, feel free to hit that like button and comment below. If you are new to my YouTube channel, please go down there and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see more of what I'm doing, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Farmhand Mike. As always, thanks for watching and supporting my social media. And check back often. I still have a ton of farming content from this fall from other farms coming to my YouTube channel. So I'll try to get that done here over the winter before spring rolls around and it's time to plant again.